Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success by attracting, converting, and retaining their ideal customers and clients using various proven Internet marketing techniques and methods. The purpose of this show is, more often than not, I will have a couple subject matter experts come on. They'll talk a little bit about their services, but mostly it's about how they got to where they are from where they started as entrepreneurs. So that will help you who are entrepreneurs or are thinking about being entrepreneurs, overcome and maybe even avoid some of those struggles. And in the third section, time permitted, I'll just give out a 5-10 minute section on tips that will help you achieve even greater success. This whole show is totally free to everybody, and if you need any help or assistance, feel free to reach out to me at Ron, R-O-N, at rcstechnologysolutions.com, and we'll help you with that. So Jennifer Glass is our first guest today, and Jennifer Glass is the CEO at Business Growth Strategies International, LLC. For short, that is BGSI, and it's physically based in New Jersey. BGSI, through its 3 divisions, helps business owners and entrepreneurs with various payment solutions, coaching and mentor solutions, and various marketing solutions, providing a robust and best-in-class solution for business owners looking to grow their business and revenue. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning, Ron. How are you?
Excellent. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well today. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for blessing our listeners with your expertise and experience.
Thank you.
I previously said that you're calling in from New Jersey, so I don't have to ask you where you're calling in from down there. And we're up here in Boston, but this show is heard nationally via the Internet. Links on my website, rcstechnologysolutions.com, the radio station's website, 980 WCAP, and also iHeartRadio and TuneIn Radio. But Jennifer, I read your bio, and it was, what I read was relatively short and just kind of like glossed over things. But can you tell the listeners a little bit more about who you are and what you do, and then we'll just, from there we'll just go on.
Oh, absolutely. So I like to say that I look at a business in a holistic manner to be able to help business owners grow. I've been doing that now for 13 years in my own business. I love being the head of my company, being able to help people. I've always been helping people throughout my entire career. Just that's the way that I believe in doing things. If I can help other people, then it's that much better for me. Outside of that, I'm involved in so many organizations. I mean, I sit on boards and commissions and volunteer a little bit too much probably at times with the nonprofit organizations that I work with. But again, it goes back to helping people. So I'm all about helping people. And in the 3 divisions that I have, the payments, the coaching, and the marketing solutions, I look at that as an extension of being able to help the people that I work with.
Nice. Now, were you always a business owner, or were you an employee at one time?
I started out as an employee. Way back when, 20 years ago, I just dated myself on national radio. I was an employee for a telecom company and saw the company grow from being one of the first 15 people in it to over 1,500 people, and held so many different hats when I first started out in that business. Everything from sales and marketing to investor relations to being in charge of all the various departments reporting directly to the president and COO of the company, to doing other kinds of programs with that company and another telecom company, along with working for a major top-tier college university for 2 years as well. So before I actually started my own business, I was involved working with other people. I didn't start out of school, hey, I'm going to open up my own business. But I do teach my kids entrepreneurship, and that's something that they do take seriously and valuable, knowing about that as well.
Excellent. And, you can either build your own dreams by working for yourself, or you can build someone else's, right?
Absolutely. And that's exactly why I love working for myself.
Excellent. Now, we can get into some maybe tips for people who are trying to start out, but you're also asked to speak around the country at some points, aren't you?
I am. I'm on the Speaker Bureau for the Small Business Development Center, SCORE, several top global accounting firms. I consult frequently with banks, investment and commercial banks. So I'm all over the place in terms of that. And it's all about being able to help people learn more, be able to understand a lot more, because there's so many confusing things out there in business. Whether you're just starting out or you're an established business, there's so many confusing things still out there. And having somebody that's been through it, having somebody that's actually able to help them make sense of it all is definitely something that I love, being able to be that tool to help them understand things a lot better in business, in their own, as well as in general.
Excellent. And I see two of your presentations. One of the titles is called The 3 Secrets to Getting More Customers, and the second one is the 9-point sales process to getting more revenue. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Sure. So the 3 secrets to getting more customers is looking at the payment system ecosphere. There's so many options when it comes to payment processing. I mean, somebody, for me as an example, when I started out in 2002 needing to get a credit card merchant account system, at the time I thought, I can call up Visa, MasterCard, and get them to give me a merchant account. Boy, was I mistaken. And I went through so many different options when I was looking at the various solutions that were out there. And it came actually to a point, there's a commercial out there, a major insurance company has a commercial out there where one of the people are saying, I had so many spreadsheets, the pros and cons for this company, that company, and everything, and I ended up making the wrong choice. That's exactly where I was. Somebody told me just do eeny, meeny, miny, mo if you have to, just to be able to pull the trigger and make a decision. I learned my lesson by doing it that way, and when I got in the industry, I said, I got to make it easy. So the 3 secrets to getting more customers, the way that I look at that is, here's the 3 things you can do with the payment ecosphere that you can immediately put into your business to be able to grow your business. If you're not looking at your credit card processing account, your merchant account as an asset, there's something that may need to be looked at differently, because there's so many ways that you can be able to grow. There's financing solutions to be able to help, I'm going to pick on jewelers, to be able to get higher-end sales so much easier than what is currently out there, and ways to be able to constantly be driving people into their stores. So when you look at what the payment ecosphere is able to bring, we make it easy and we make it a no-brainer for the business owner to say, hey, you know what, Jennifer, I really want to work with you to be able to implement these programs because I see the value in them in bringing them to my business, because people are going to want to take advantage of all of them. So that's the 3 secrets. The 9 secrets to getting more revenue is really looking at how can you come up with a sales process that you're able to actually utilize in your business to be able to say, I can go from step 1 to step 9 and be able to help you out. If you think about it, in any business, there's got to be a system in order to be able to really succeed. Because if somebody is flying by the seat of their pants, which very often most business owners are doing, they're not going to be able to replicate success over and over. But when they do have a system, it's a lot easier to being able to continue seeing successes over and over. And when you have that process and you have the pieces in place to be able to provide the solutions to their customers, it's going to be a lot easier. I mean, I've been able to give several of my coaching clients $1 million+ ideas just by looking at that 9-point process and being able to immediately implement and having them succeed in terms of what they were doing to be able to get those customers in the door and them making money.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that's, in my business, that's one of the biggest mistakes I see our clients make, and we help business owners and entrepreneurs, attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients. But we do that in such a way, and one of the first ways we do that is by similar what you're talking about. So I definitely agree with that, because most business owners and entrepreneurs, they start their sales process in around step 7. And I found, like, even the people who are slightly ahead of the game are starting at step 6. So oftentimes, they're really hurting themselves because they're not starting at the right point. Do you find that business owners are, like, I don't want to say their own worst enemies, but they just don't have the correct information, and their whole funnel is just, like, not set up correctly?
I would definitely have to agree to an extent, and that's where business owners actually have funnels in place. Many business owners don't even have a single funnel in place. And, when I come in and I look at what a business is currently doing and I evaluate where somebody is, those are some of the things that I'm trying to understand. And I work with them, if they don't have that, to be able to come up with their messaging framework, to be able to identify what's their USP, their unique selling proposition. So many people don't even know what separates them from their competition. They think, oh, yeah, customer service is what we do best. And, I hate to say it, everyone loves to say customer service is what separates us. But what does that mean? If you're not actively going out there and you're not actively making customer service something that people are able to actually see, saying customer service is what separates us doesn't separate you from the rest of the players in your industry. And unless you have a very specific niche where not many other players are, that's not going to be something that's going to be able to help separate you. So a lot of businesses are starting at the beginning, and so many of them really throw stuff against the wall to see what sticks when it comes to sales. I mean, when I did a presentation a couple months ago for the 9-point process, I actually asked at that presentation, and I said, how many of you guys are just throwing stuff against the wall? And more than half of the room put their hands up. It blew my mind. I mean, I was expecting 5, 6 people to say that, but I had significantly more people actually saying that that's what they were doing as their entire sales and marketing process. And when you're looking at the way that businesses are doing things like that, it completely surprised me.
Yeah, and I agree. But a funnel isn't necessarily a funnel can be even just a blog article with a link to their website. I mean, a funnel is just a various process of getting people from point A to point B. But I agree with you, and I think sometimes, people really they don't fully understand, and I love the way you put that with their USP, and if they don't understand their unique selling proposition or the true IP that they have, their intellectual property, when they're talking to a customer or a client, they're not starting at the right point. They're trying to sell the client, trying to convince the client that this is their solution, instead of talking to the client from the other end. You know what I mean? And once when you talk to them from the other side of it, then you're not selling them, you're serving them. And I always try to get my client to come from the service aspect. If you have let's say we have like 10 minutes left. So if you had, let's say, a brand new client right now, somebody who is just getting ready to start a business, then you have somebody who's been in business for 18 to 24 months. They've just started now. They're breaking even, right? They're making more money than they're spending. And then you have somebody who's been in business for 5 years. Now, I'm going to ask you for 3 tips for each level, and it's possible that one of these tips could be relevant for all 3 levels, so that's fine. But could you give us like one or 2 or 3 tips, if time allows, on how these people could actually, avoid some pitfalls and achieve more success?
Absolutely. So the first one is that if they didn't properly identify what their USP is, we need to be able to do that. And that really is across the board in any kind of business, because even if they're currently breaking even or they're well past that point, they still need to be able to identify what their USP is. And they also need to identify who their ideal prospects are, because in order to be able to properly market to any particular business or any particular customer, they need to be able to know who they're actually selling to. They need to know who those avatars are and what their buyer journey is in terms of that process. So that would be one of the first things that I would look at, and it really is across the board, being able to say, hey, Ron, you just started out in business. That's great, because at least we don't have to relearn a lot. But let's figure out exactly what your customer is like and what their process is like in terms of being able to say, I'm going to be able to start from here, I'm going to be able to start from there. Because, again, people buy emotionally. They don't buy logically. 99.9% of the time. I mean, even when you bought your last car, you probably went in and you were thinking, is it going to be safe for my kids? Because you're thinking your kids, your family. You're not thinking, well, it's got a NHTSA 5-star rating, because that's probably one of the last things. And then people are like, well, how many cup holders does it have? Again, that's an emotion that's not logically that people are buying it from. And then there's other services that are out there. Why is somebody buying Nike as opposed to Adidas, as an example? It's because of the way that the marketing is and what they're going to feel like with that brand on them. It's the same thing if I were going to go looking for a handbag. I'm going to be looking for this brand as opposed to that brand, because it's going to be more of a stature symbol if I can use that to be able to say, well, I'm walking around with this as opposed to that, because, again, it's emotional. It's not logical. So that's one of the things that I would be looking at. Another one is, let's look at the different kinds of payment systems that are currently in place in the business. If they're just starting out, I would recommend let's look at all the various solutions that we can possibly be able to get to be able to maximize people constantly coming into their store and being able to reach more and more people over time, because if it doesn't matter if it's a physical store or an online business, they're going to need customers coming into them all the time, because that's the way that they're going to be able to constantly scale and grow their business. If they're already established, we're going to be looking at other options. We're going to be looking at being able to incorporate passing along additional data with the transactions to help them put more money in their bottom line, at the same time being able to get more benefit and more value from the transactions, because they're going to actually see more data with the transactions and know, oh, hey, Ron is coming in and he's buying this particular item because that's the kind of card that he's using, and we're able to track that system. So there's a lot of that information we're going to be able to look at to be able to incentivize our customers to keep coming back, as well as looking at ways that we're going to be able to encourage new and repeat business, again, across all three types of businesses. And then it's really looking at, how can I continue to grow? Being able to have access to cash, being able to have access to funding is always important, because it doesn't matter if you're a startup or you're already in business. If you don't have access to funds, you're not going to necessarily be able to grow when your business needs to grow. If you need to get inventory in your business, or you need to hire seasonal help to be able to work, whether it's the summer, whether it's the holidays, you're going to need those access to the money in order to be able to do that. So those are additional ways that we're able to work with a business and be able to say, we're going to be able to find these right options for you and be able to help you today, tomorrow, next year, 5 years down the road.
Nice. That sounds excellent. And that's good stuff. So you covered all the different levels, right?
Pretty much.
Okay. Now, that's good stuff. Now, being that you're in New Jersey, people wouldn't be a barrier if somebody heard something and wanted to call you and see if they could explore working with you. Am I correct?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, we service clients across the United States, Canada, several European markets. I mean, we're internationally capable of taking business.
Well, and that's great. And I've known you for a while, so like I like to tell my listeners that they come on this show, they're my guests. I'm the one who asked them to come on, so I vet them. And I know Jennifer, and I've known her for a while, and I know she's good at what she does. And some of the things she does, we do as well. So when she starts talking about some of these things, I know she's spot on, especially with respect to learning your avatar and your USP. And, you got to have your foundation solid. So when you're going out there and you're marketing to people, you can't be selling. You have to be building a rapport, building a relationship, providing benefits and value. You have to have that person see you as the solution to their problem, right? So when they're calling you, it's not, you're calling them. However it happens, whatever the process is, you're not selling them. They're asking you, how can I work with you? The whole process, I found that working with a client, coming from that, is totally different. If I sell them into something, then I'm kind of convincing them that this is their solution. And my whole relationship and the whole process with them is, it's a little more, hand-holding and telling them they made the right choice. And, whereas if the process is done correctly, like we were just talking about, Jennifer, the working relationship is going to be so much more easier,
Without a question. I mean, when people come and they see you as the expert and they know that they're working with someone who actually cares instead of just making a sale, that's the kind of relationship that I try and work with all the time. And I have been able to be blessed. I have customers with me for all 13 years that I've had my business. And I love the fact that they've stuck with me this long, and I'm hoping another 20, 30 years that they're going to be with me.
Excellent. We're down to 3 minutes, and I want to let the listeners know we're about to get Jennifer's contact information, but if for any reason you're unable to write it down and you want to listen to this episode again to both get her information and also revisit the tips she gave you, in a couple of days, this episode will be in the archives on the 980wcap.com radio station's website. So you can go to their website, click on archives, and it will be there. And it will also be on my website, rcstechnologysolutions.com, under the media tab, and then you'll see radio shows. And all the radio shows we've done for the last couple of years are listed there, so you can go back and listen to lots of great information. Jennifer, could you give us, our listeners, your contact information? And do you have like a free book or an e-book or anything you'd like to give?
The e-book is actually currently in process of being written, so I don't have that at the moment. But in terms of the contact information, you can definitely reach me, bgsiLLC.com. Again, that's B as in business, G as in growth, S as in strategies, I as in international, LLC.com, and from there you're able to see the various divisions that we have. You can also give me a call at 201-645-0132, and I'm at extension 101, or look me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, all the social media networks out there, the major ones anyway.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any last parting words?
I wanted to thank you so much for allowing me on your program this morning. I think that it's great that you're out there, you're offering these solutions to entrepreneurs. It's extremely important to be able to get different points of view and experience and the way that people have always been looking at business, because at the end of the day, no business problem, or 99.9% of business problems, are not unique. So having the ability to hear your solutions and your guests on your program, I just wanted to thank you for doing that kind of program and having me on your show this morning to be able to impart at least some of my wisdom and experience to your listeners.
Excellent, and thank you very much for taking the time to come on, like I said, and blessing our listeners with your expertise. It's always nice. And just so the listeners know, our guests don't get paid to come on here. This is a gift. They don't get paid to come on here, and they don't pay to get on here either. So this is purely objective. So again, thank you very much, Jennifer. And you've been listening to Jennifer Glass on the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success by attracting, converting, and retaining their ideal customers and clients using various internet marketing techniques and methods. Thanks.